Hello and welcome to Boring Dad Gaming, where today we're going to be playing Card Shark. It's a new game out today, 2nd of June, and I'm quite excited to be playing this. I played the demo that was available maybe a month or so ago, maybe 3 weeks, 4 weeks ago, and it's probably one of the more unique games I think I've ever played. It's not actually a card game, it's a game about learning to cheat at cards, which is slightly different. And yeah, I think it's really good fun. So we're going to jump straight in and find out what it's all about. Now this is, I'm guessing, a save that I had in the demo. So we're going to just start a completely new game from the beginning. It does say play with a gamepad. I play with a keyboard and mouse, and I didn't have any difficulty with that in the demo. So what sort of difficulty options have we got? So I think we'll play on normal mode, which I think is what I played in the demo. It all began on a misty morning of 1743 near Pau, in the south of France. Hey lad, come here. And this is us. Did your majesty have a good nap? Yeah, we did. I don't give a tinker's damn. Patrons are coming. To work now. Alright, so maybe we'll take a minute just to pet the dog. He seems to like that. What are you doing, fidgeting like a salmon about to meet the croûte? If you're about to have one of your convulsions, then you'd best make sure my customers don't see it. Come on, lad, you need to earn your keep. Oh, she's a bit bossy, isn't she? Let's frown. Don't give me that look. Go serve the patrons. You lad, come, pour me a drink. And here we're going to meet the Count of Saint-Germain. So we're going to learn how to pour a drink here. Moving the mouse across. Many thanks, lad. Comte de Saint-Germain. Now, why don't you keep me company? Take a seat. Yes. That chair is fine. I couldn't help but notice your mistress is rather rough with you. That's true. Can't you speak? Apparently not. You can't? How fascinating. Indubitably linked to these Caesars your mistress spoke of so fondly. The ancient Greeks believed people like you possessed prophetic abilities, you know. What? Load of nonsense if you ask me. Either way, you strike me as an intelligent fellow. Would you like to earn some extra cash? I think we would. That could only mean yes. Listen closely, though. Though there's money to be made, there's plenty more to lose. I'm going to play a game of cards tonight. I am going to win. Thanks to you. But before I explain my plan, I have a question. Do you know what suits are? And we've got the clubs, the hearts, the the clubs, the hearts, the spades, and the diamonds. Yes, we know what they are. Yes. Good. On to the plan, then. You will serve us wine as we play, and peek at my opponent's cards. Then you'll signal to me the best suit in his hand, whichever he has the most of. But how will you signal? I know. After serving the wine, you will take your cloth and wipe the table in a particular pattern corresponding to that suit. That made sense, I hope? Yes. Good. Let's discuss the wiping patterns you can use as signals. For hearts, you will wipe in a clockwise circular motion. Like so. If his best suit is spades, wipe in an anti-clockwise circular motion. So spades, we do the opposite. If you see a majority of diamonds, wipe in a straight line up and down. Like that. And finally, if you need to signal clubs, wipe the table in a side-to-side pattern. Like so. Excellent. You seem to be getting the hang of it. I've thrown a lot at you, I know, but should we try the next trick? Yes. Now let's try having you peek over my shoulder as you pour me a fresh drink. When you've seen my hand, signal to me the best suit. Ready to give it a try? We pour the wine, we get to peek at the cards, and it looks like spades. And spades was the anti-clockwise circle, wasn't it? Yes. Well done, lad. It seems we have ourselves a plan. So we've learned a trick, the bottle of Cahors. I take it you've had enough practice? Yes, I think so. Wonderful. Meet me back here tonight and we'll see about making some real money. So we've learned our first card trick, I suppose. Where has he gone, the gentleman who was at this table? He didn't pay for his wine. I'll have to dock that from your wages. You'll be pleased to know I won't have too much cause to do much more of that voice. I'm in luck tonight. You, on the other hand, you will probably die soon on the gallows or of the pox. That will depend on whether I embrace your principles or your mistress. Be careful, sir. Oh, my apologies, I spoke in jest. Let me refill your cup. He's signalling to me there, so we run in with our bottle of wine. How much do you want to bet? How about 5 livres? Yep. Okay. I think we should be okay for this trick. We'll pause slowly because I want to be able to have a look at his card. So he's got an ace of diamonds. I think we'll say that diamonds is his best suit. And diamonds was up and down, wasn't it? Oh. He had the ace of diamonds. Oh dear. Ah, do you need the rules explained again? We'll have the go. I thought diamonds was his best suit. Yeah, I think it's diamonds. Definitely diamonds this time. Yeah. So the Comte won that round. So we got off to a slightly rocky start. What? How did you do that? Just the luck of the draw, my good man. A drink and everything will be forgotten. There we go, and pour again. The bets are going higher. So it's looking like, let's say hearts. So we'll do a clockwise sweep, and that's correct. And the Comte has won. Wipe that grin off your face. That sort of setback happens to everyone, my good friend. Only yesterday I lost a fortune. You know what I did? I had a drink. Allow me. Young man, fortune favours me. I think I deserve another drink before we keep playing. Would you be so kind as to refill my cup? Many thanks, lad. I'll say when. When? You've played the first rounds well, lad. But look to our opponent and you can see he's starting to get suspicious. Ah, that's a suspicion meter. I fear it won't be long before he's had enough. Oh dear, I'm not advancing that. I think it's just showing to us what happens with the suspicion meter. Damn, we've been scuppered! Oi, what are you two whispering about over there? Nobody cheats me! Oh dear. Oh, that's unfortunate. Forgive me, lad, I got a little carried away. The law will soon be upon us. We need to go, now! That odious fellow appears to have left his purse. How careless. Oh dear, our mistress has died. I am a great believer in only worrying about those things we have control over, and we have no control over this craft. Therefore, we should not worry. And that's a quote from the Comte de Saint-Germain. Camp of the Cascaroes, Argonne, France, the following morning. Ireneo, my friend, do you hear that in the breeze? The rustle of the leaves and the murmur of the nearby brook. Yes, our good friend the Comte has come. And here we come as well. We'll stop here for a while. Why? The gentleman who killed your patroness is Colonel Gabriel, commanding the Béarn regiment. It won't be long until he accuses you of this murder. What? I'm afraid you make the perfect scapegoat. Your animosity with the deceased is well known. You are poor, young, and mute, and you fled the crime scene with a notorious thief. Me. But don't worry, we're safe here. This is the camp of the Cascaroes. They are friends. They don't talk. And like all the other Romani in France, they fall between the cracks. They're invisible. A bit like you. Make yourself at home. I need to talk to the magician. So all we can really do is click on this guy over here. So we'll do that. We're just going to stare at each other for a while. Are you done making faces? Good for you, good for you. So, you're the new pet of our dear Comte de Saint-Germain. No, don't answer that. My name is Ireneo Funes, cheat and humble artist of the shadows. I trick my fellow man for money and adventure. Would you like to learn magic? Yes. I thought you might say that. It's called Three-Card Monte. During the 100 Years' War, an English lord lost the entirety of his estates over this game. Which is a very English thing to do. Then he threw himself off the white cliffs of Dover. Which is a very French thing to do. So, you follow closely. You see the Queen lives here? Yes, I'll put her here. Now, follow the Queen closely. So, it should be this left one. But it is not. Magic, isn't it? What? It's a simple trick, really. All in the motion, the flow. I trust you understood all that. Why not show off what you've learned to the magician? Fine. There's a bit more to it than that. I was playing with you. I'll show you how it's done. Start by flipping the cards over. Good. Pick them up and show them to me. Now for the important part, the secret that makes it work. You can either play fair and put the Queen down, or cheat by putting down the card behind it. What did you choose? No, don't tell me. Now for the fun part. Mix them up, but be careful to keep a good rhythm. So this is a bit of a timing game. Alright, now take your time and swap two cards. Make it look deliberate. Any two will do. Time for me to choose. Very good. I didn't even see you cheat. I think you're ready now. We've learned the 3-card Monty. Right, so now I think we can go into the Magician. McGregor is probably after you already. Well, it's not the uncertain turn of chance that has me in this dump. I'm glad you appreciate my hospitality. At least it smells better than Versailles. Come in, boy. I was waiting for you. Yes, come meet the magician. I will wait outside. The Comte seems to think you have abilities. Trick me. Okay, I think we did that all right. Magnificent. Time for me to show you a trick then. I'm going to teach you how to read an opponent's mind. I'll prove it to you now. In fact, I'm so confident in my abilities, I'll put 40 livres on the line. Uh-oh. I'll take that as a yes. Pick a card, any card from the deck, and place it on the top. But remember which one you chose. Okay, so by holding down the left button and kind of moving the mouse left and right, I can go through it. Let's pick one that's easy to remember. So let's the Ace of Spades. Good. The card you chose is on the top. And you remember it? Yep. Excellent. Now pick a number. Let's say between 2 and 5. How about 3? Alright, now watch this. I'm going to shuffle the deck and then cut it. Abracadabra. I know where your card is in the deck. Remember the number you chose? Watch. 1, 2. According to the number you picked, this next one should be your card. And there we go, the Ace of Spades. Is that your card? It is. Good, because there's no way I'm parting with my coins over that. And relax, you owe me nothing. The Comte told me of your origins. I can see that look in your eye. It's always the same. You want to know how I did it. I'm willing to explain since you showed such promise with 3-card Monty. Alright, so I've chosen my card, the Ace of Diamonds, and I've placed it on the top of the deck. For the time being, let's keep it simple. I'll choose the number 1. That means all we have to do is keep the ace at the top. Let's see what happens if we start shuffling. So to shuffle, I hold and drag the mouse down. As we first start mixing the cards, we can keep an eye on the ace. But if we keep shuffling, we quickly lose track of it. Damn. Let's reset the deck and see what we can do differently. Start shuffling again, but only drop a clump of cards once. At this stage, we know that the ace is at the top of the pile in our bottom hand, but if we keep shuffling, we'll lose it. I suppose you're wondering how I kept track of your card when I shuffled and cut the deck before. You're right to look suspicious. The trick is to put a marker next to our card so we can find it later, even after more shuffling. You do this by dropping one card onto the pile and offsetting it slightly. This is called in-jogging. Remember it well, boy. And this is actually a technique that we'll end up using in quite a few of our tricks. That's it. Now you can shuffle the rest without worrying about losing the ace. Now we shuffle the rest of the deck. Great, now we know where the ace is. But we wanted it at the top, not somewhere in the middle, so now what? That's where cutting comes in. We can feel for the in-jogged marker with our fingers and cut the deck at that point. The next card down was our ace, remember, so when we recombine the piles, it'll be back at the top of the deck. But why trust me? Let's allow the cards to do the talking. Voila! As if by magic, the Ace of Diamonds, back at the top of the deck. Let's see if you understood that. Try shuffling and cutting, making sure the ace gets back to the top at the end. So we cut that, we're going to in-jog, and then we'll just shuffle the rest of the deck. And now he cuts at the right point, and so the ace should be there. That looks like the ace of diamonds to me. Well done. Would you like to practice it again? No, we'll move on. Nope. All right. Let's take this trick up a gear then. Think about what we've learned already. By the end of the trick, we wanted the ace at the top of the deck. And sure enough, we dealt out some cards and the ace came out first. But the real trick is a bit more impressive. You'll let someone else choose the ace's position. You see, boy, giving your target the feeling that they're in power is the key to pulling the rug out from underneath their feet. So, with that in mind, imagine I'm your mark and I've chosen the number 4. You need to offset the ace with 3 other cards. That means when you deal, the ace won't be the first, but 4th. I'll teach you how to add these offsetting cards while you shuffle. Let's start as we did before. Shuffle some cards down once, just like earlier. Good. Now before in-jogging, we need to offset the ace to the correct position. Drop 3 more cards, one at a time. And that's just a left click, I think. So we want 1, 2, 3. Great. Now create yourself a marker by in-jogging a card. So the in-jogging is left to right with the mouse pressed down. All there's left to do is shuffle the remaining cards down and then cut. Yep. So we'll do that. This is the easy part now. So he's going to cut the deck. And then we deal 4 cards. 1, 2, 3, and then the ace of diamonds is there. There's the ace of diamonds as the 4th card, just as planned. Impressive work. Now, before you go running off trying to impress everyone with your newfound wizardry, heed some advice. There's nothing more embarrassing than messing up a magic trick. So keep practicing. Now remember, I get to choose where I want my card to end up. And neither me nor anyone you show this to will pick the number 4 just because you've learned it. So pay attention to which number is picked and only offset that card. This time I'll pick the number 2. So we drop down once, we click once, and then we in-jog, and then we shuffle the rest of the cards. Like so. Time to check. Ba-dum. The ace of diamonds, exactly what I asked for it. Well done. Would you like to practice it again? No, we'll move on. I think I've got that. Very well. You seem to know what you're doing. You're a quick study. The compt has done well. So I think we can either keep practicing that or we'll go outside and rejoin the compt. You tricked the magician? Indeed. I hope you didn't sign away your soul when I've been working so hard to earn it. What? No, come on, lad. It's not like you've sold it to death itself. No, you're part of the family now. We share everything here, including our gains. Everything we give to the camp will be given a good use. It's like our poor people's bank. We support the elderly and the ones who can't work anymore, like Ireneo. I also hope that one day we could use that money to change things for real in this country. I will give 20 livres. Your half of the money is yours to spend how you want. We would appreciate if you could spare some for our cause. So we're going to choose how much we're going to donate now. We know we've got 60 livres in our account. He's donated 20, so if we donate 10, we're a bit grumpy. If we donate 20, we're a bit happy and he's alright. If we donate more than that, he gets a bit cross, and I'm not sure why. Maybe we're showing him up a little bit. So we'll do sort of the average amount, same as he did. We all give what we can, thank you. Well, we're all done here, we should keep moving. Okay, so we've got a journal, and we can find a record of our adventures there. And we have a few choices of where to go now. We could go to the Parliament's Cafe and play a game there. We could go to the Manor, Play again. That's a higher minimum bet, which makes me think it might be more difficult. Or the inn. Why don't we do the inn first? We're not going to this inn for leisure, of course. Not when there's coin to be made. That simple trick we pulled at the tavern won't work. How do you feel about taking a seat at the table? Yeah, why not? Aha! You have a thirst for the game already, I see. You won't be playing to win, of course. You'll be aiding me. Before I get to explaining our next strategy, do you need a refresher on card values? No, I think we're alright with card values. Good. Similar to last time, I need you to signal to me what you know of my opponent's cards. I doubt we'll find anyone quite so drunk as before, so I'll need better information if we're to win. You'll need to communicate the suit and value of our opponent's best card. That'll be enough to tip the scales. The way you hold your cards and how you play them will tell me everything. I call this the pinch and drop signal. Let's start with clubs. Play a card from your hand holding 3 fingers in the air. So 3 fingers, I mean, we can use that to kind of demonstrate the 3 lumps on a club. That's how we can remember that. So if we drag down, we can alter how many... In fact, it tells us there on the left which we're indicating. So by holding up 3, we're indicating clubs. Very good. For hearts, hold the card with 2 fingers extended. And again, we got the sort of 2 circular bumps there if we need to sort of remember the code for that. But it does show us here. Right, I'm sure you know where this is going. 1 finger lifted for spade, so just 1 point on a spade. Good. Have a closed hand when signaling diamonds. That's kind of where the code falls down, isn't it? So we'll just have to remember that one. It's not one of the other ones we've learned. Shall we move on to signaling card values, or shall we go over signaling suits again? Let's move on. That's quite simple. Great. The way you place a card will signal its value to me. For aces, raise the highest card to the highest point before letting it fall to the table. So we hold down and lift up for the ace. Just like that. For king, show me a strident ruler by reaching forward and placing him deep into the table. So we hold down and move from left to right for kings. Good. Now for queens, treat the monarch with respect. Gently lower the lady down and place her on the table. So we hold and move down for queens. Perfect. And for jacks, pull your hand back before you fling the rascal forward. So we move from right to left. For jacks, why is that not doing for me? There we go. Well done. Would you like to go over that again, or should we try putting this all together? Let's move on. Very well. I suppose you're wondering how you'll see our opponent's hand if you're sat at the table. Any ideas? Quite right. You can't pour the wine when you're a customer. The responsibility will rest on my shoulders. I'll deal in such a way that you may steal a look at our marked cards. Commit to memory the highest value card they get dealt, and don't forget the suit. If the lucky wretch has dealt 2 cards of joint highest value but with different suits, either card will do. I call this technique dealer's glimpse. Let's practice. 2. So that's queen of diamonds. Queen of clubs. Less than 8. Is there one more? And a 6. So it's one of the queens. It was clubs and diamonds. So if let's do diamonds. And with the queen, we've got to gently lay them down, haven't we? Like so. Bravo! It seems we have ourselves a plan. And this is called the indiscreet fingers. We can run through it again if you'd like, or would you like to rest for the remainder of the journey? We're fine. Let's get on and play. Oh, we've quite a journey yet. Some handwriting practice will pass the time. Now let me find my quill. This inn has proven to be quite a fertile hunting ground in the past. Take a look at the man in red seated over there with all his finery. Let's fleece him for all he's worth. Now, stay back here until I'm seated. You seem utterly bored, my young friend. I happen to know the perfect cure for that ailment. You're not a doctor, I hope. I may be bored, but I'm not suicidal. I only administer the sweetest form of thrill, a good old game of cards. Oh, that's a remedy my humours can agree with. Please have a seat. And now Comte sat down, so let's trot over ourselves and have a seat. How much shall we bet? Makes me a bit suspicious if we go in too high at first, so let's start off with a small bet. That's a 6. A 4. An 8 of hearts. Looking for face cards, really. As that's a king of spades there. And a 2. So king of spades is the one we want to signal. So spades is 1. And the king, yeah, we sort of lay him down and deep into the table. There we go. We saw the suspicion bar rising there. So, you know, it is on a bit of a timer. Oh, I'm growing sick of your medicine, Comte. Oh, do stay for another round, young patient. Yeah, it won't hurt one bit. Yeah, so if we push up too far, he does get a bit more suspicious. Let's not push it too far for this first guy. So that's a 4. Ace of hearts, that one. King of diamonds. So still ace of hearts is probably going to be the one we go for, unless he gets another ace, but ace of hearts would still be the one to do. So hearts was 2, wasn't it? And an ace. Do we raise it up? Yes. There we go. A stringent defeat again. You've got a dreadful bedside manner, Comte. Only through suffering do we feel alive. We could push it up a little bit, couldn't we? That's the most we can do. Let's bet the maximum. Queen of hearts. Still the queen. Yeah, queen of hearts. Hearts is 2, and the queen we lay down respectfully, don't we? Like so. Round 1. Ah, well, I can't make the bet for the next round. Your treatment was expensive, but appreciated. We should say a game of cards a day keeps the doctor away. Not an apple. I fully agree, my friend. The apple only works if you're good at throwing it at the doctor. Thank you, monsieur. I will be a good patient and follow your prescription. Right, so his... I don't know if that's the area or if that's his name, or Aureliac. But maybe we should do... maybe the cafe, which has got the 10 livre bet. We're headed to Toulouse. A city on the verge of hysterical frenzy is the best place to make a profit. Why? I heard a Protestant merchant killed his own son to prevent him from converting to Catholicism. The bigots are scandalized, the people enraged, and the gentry suspiciously silent. As far as scams go, it's pretty crude, but you have to recognize a certain Gallic efficacy. The trial starts tomorrow. The whole city will be busy, noisy, and distracted. We cannot let this opportunity pass. The magician showed you a technique that allows you to maintain and offset a stack, didn't he? Yes. Whilst you now have a strong foundation to work with, the technique has some flaws. Fiddling around with the deck of the table is just too risky. So, how else can we stack the deck? How? You'll use something I call the full harvest. You will collect the cards at the end of a round so they sit favourably in the deck during the next one. Picture in your mind how the cards will fall if you're the dealer. Because I'm sitting to your right, I'll be dealt last. That's where we want the high value cards. Pick up the card clumps in an order that ensures I'll end up with a high card when you deal. Yeah, this was one where I had a bit of difficulty with sometimes in the demo, but we did it there. Perfect. I'm guaranteed a lovely strong card when you deal. You're doing well, lad. But it'll be more complex in practice. There'll be many more cards on the table, and I am a greedy boy. Make sure I get 3 high-value cards this time. And this is where the complexity starts to come in. So we want him to get the 4 So maybe this one, he gets the 4th card, which is the king. If we do 3 low value cards and then give him the jack. Now we need 2 and then a high card, so maybe we'll do left to right there. And there we go. So remember, during the game itself, this is all going to be on a timer, so it can get quite stressful to get the right cards at the right time. Would you like to move on to the next part of the plan? Yeah, I've got the principle that it is quite tricky to do in practice, though. Imagine you've just collected the cards from the table. Think about how we arrange them and how they'll be dealt out. Every 4th card will be dealt to me. Thanks to you, they'll have high values. But of course, we can't start dealing just yet. We have to shuffle. Oh, Lord. I remember struggling a bit with this one in the demo. Or pretend to, at least. Allow me to introduce you to the art of ineffective shuffling. Drop some cards and don't leave your stack behind. So down to shuffle. Our favourable stack is now at the bottom, still in order. The rest of the cards will pile up on top. We eventually want to bring the ordered cards back to the top undisturbed. To help with that, we need to mark where they are in the deck. 1 card poking out of the deck should do the trick. This is called in-jogging. We already know that. I suppose this all sounds familiar. The magician taught you well, I see. So we move left to right in jog. Well done. Now drop the rest of the cards on top. This makes it look like a real shuffle. Good. Now you offer for me to cut since we're such fair and honourable players. Watch how I use my fingers to find your in-jogged card. Then you can combine the cards by putting the bottom pile on top. And that's it. Our ordered cards are ready to be dealt out. Impressive work. You understand the plan then, lad? Gather discarded cards in an order that ensures a favourable deal. Then pretend to shuffle the cards before leaning on me to cut the deck. Let me scatter some cards down the table and you can rehearse it. Okay, so he's second this time, so we want him to get the second card in a deal. So maybe just do that for now. Still the second one if we do right to left there. And... like that. And just out, I suppose. Okay, so 1 drop, in jog, drop, drop. And he cuts the deck, and he should get a nice hand of cards. Perfect! The Dishevelled Gatherer. We can wrap up and rest before our arrival if you'd like. Yes, I don't think we need to practice anymore. I'll fetch my quill and you can show me your vowels. I see the capital. We've arrived. Remember, the stakes are getting higher, lad. We cannot be discovered. The Parliament Cafe. Toulouse, France, 1 hour later. Jean-Baptiste Laurent d'Alembert. But you are cheating. No, please don't make that face. Sir, I can I'm truly happy to make your acquaintance. You are? The nobility is full of scammers and cheats, but they're mostly inept amateurs. Real con artists are a rarity, for good reason. Voltaire, come here and meet these gentilhommes. What is it, my young friend? Don't you see I'm too busy for your games? These men are cheats! Ha! Professional ones! Cheats, you say? Truly corrupted souls? How interesting. Monsieur Voltaire, I respectfully disagree. We simply teach men a justified fear of cards and gambling, and we get paid for this humble service. It does sound like an elastic conception of virtue and morale. Should we play it to test your logic? Oh yes, please. Cheat again! Just a small bet to start us with. Right, so he's fourth. So if we do that, he'll get a high card. If we do that, he'll get a high card. And then if we do that, he'll get 3 high cards. So we need to do that, in jog, finish off the shuffle. It's actually this bit's on the timer. I noticed the previous section wasn't, which will make that a bit easier. Round 1. I didn't see anything. Oh, you really are good. Could I ask you a question? Please do. Do you play to earn money, or do you play for the mere pleasure of tricking your opponents? Neither. Each game I play is just a brick in the edifice I'm building. Each trick is an element of a larger plot. I play patiently, slowly, until I can trick the sun. Like you, Monsieur de Voltaire, one letter at a time, one idea at a time. Until the whole world changes. I keep doing these low bets. I'm aware. Oh, it is timing up now. So he's still 4th. So we'll do that. And that. Ooh, how do we do this? Like maybe that and that. Yeah, there we go. I actually gave an ace and a 10 to him, but he's happy with that. So shuffle, in jog, shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. Going to cut the deck. Why, this is art! Another round. The expense feels no different to a trip to the theatre. You're in luck, good sir, for we have an encore planned. Now, we could fleece him for quite a lot. We would be quite short on time, so let's take it down a couple of notches. Let's do 60. Right, so the comp's still 4th. So if we do... Ooh. Do that. That. And what else can we do? We can do that and that. There we go. Right, so we want to shuffle, in jog, shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. Round 1. So quite a lot of money now. This little experiment is getting too expensive for me, I'm afraid. I shall go back to my writings. Thank you, gentlemen. It was enlightening. I look forward to seeing the sun blush. There we go, we did well there. So those are the first 3 missions you can do. The first, I don't know, half dozen tricks or however many we've learned. But we'll keep going with this. Next time we come back, we're going to go to the manor and see what's going on there. I think we can come back to the cafe at least once more and do something else here. So thanks very much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, then please do hit the like button and perhaps even subscribe to the channel, which would be fantastic. And yeah, hopefully I will see you next time.